And so let's transition towards like leaning out of this episode now. And Mike, where do you see yourself in 10 years? It's a very full question. I know
it's very full. It all depends. Like we said, hopefully we can not hopefully we'll get the development up and running, and the goal is to get volume, right? Once we get volume, I'll have to help out.
We're talking Florida for people who don't know what you're talking
about. Hands-on with the development in Florida.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. So your goal as it stands right now is you'd like to create this legacy of becoming a builder.
For sure. Yeah. Like we said today, we were driving through Toronto and I pointed out a couple lots that one I had and a couple that we tried to buy and develop and sever and do kinds of things like that. That never worked out. Just I didn't have the capital. I have the experience, but it was a dream, right? But now those dreams, all those little dreams and all that research, and we were talking about it the other day. I didn't know every answer, but I was willing to find out. And I would go to the city just to give them hypothetical questions and try and figure out what I can do on certain lots just to understand if I can do what I want to eventually get to that point when I did have the capital or the people behind me to do it, to go ahead with it, right? And knew what it helped me become a better realtor, but it helped me understand a lot. The process, right? So
very good.
Which helps us, well, not us, and helps me understand.
Of course.
Developing in Florida a little bit easier.
He doesn't give himself enough credit. Ultimately, at the end with Mike, he's very good at sourcing properties. And to be honest, the buying side now, our clients that are buying properties got an expert at finding properties. The guy can find properties, trust me. A better job than I can, for sure.
In regards to what, though?
Look, even if you look at the properties that we just drove by, the ones that he accumulated in Toronto now. So there's that. You can wrap them out. You got that one that we drove by. You did that renovation. You flipped. That's a prominent area in Toronto. You picked a great lot, and you made profit. Then you held on to that one house, that little white house that you listed when you came on, came on board. Look at the street you were on.
Yeah,
all those big fucking houses.
My goal was to buy the small house in the middle of all the
but how many agents, how many developers were probably bidding on that or wanted it based on the location, and you took it.
That was an interesting story. I had to really push for that one. There was 5 offers on that, and I door knocked that one, and they happened to be coming to the market a week later. And then as I door knocked it, I just hit it off with the seller, and then I'd offered it. We worked it out. But
well, there you go.
But yeah, no, if I just threw in a number, I wouldn't have got the house.
But how good is that property? Then the other property you just sold, you did a renovation, you made some big profit there too.
Yeah.
The last house, the new house that you bought now. We just saw it for the first time. I only saw it in photos, but it's a great house in a great location. It'll be a $2 million house very shortly.
Yeah.
If
the one
not
that you're listing. The one that you're listing.
the one he's living in now.
The one that you're living in now.
Yeah.
You pay 1.4 That's a $2 million house all day long.
1.5.
1.5. Sorry.
Come on.
But it's trying to hide that $100,000 from your wife.
So now, Steve, if you had to now give your 2 cents of in 10 years, where do you see yourself being?
Yeah, I think the goal is obviously I kind of even though as much as I want to get away from real estate, there's something I've always pulled me back in with the real estate sales. I think we keep it. Like I was talking to our coach just recently with this, even with Toronto. I think it's important to kind of hold on to this too. Obviously, the attention is going to be more out that way. I think at some point it's going to be Mike controlling down here, then Mike. So let's just say everything works out to to spec. We build our first property this year. The next year we do 3, then it's 5, then it's 10. Then we're making $1 million net profit a year. That's enough to hold us both together, pay for the lifestyle, and roll the next investment. So 10, 20, then we want to get to 60 houses, whatever it is. But hold on to the real estate office because that pays the bills in the meantime. Sure. And we built something now. I built something really nice down there. It's working well. Got great staff.
You've also built something really nice here.
Absolutely. But it doesn't need me anymore.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's again
it's sustainable by itself. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're there.
But yeah, Steve's at the board part.
I'm here. but and it's good. I enjoy it. But there's so much to life, right? So we'll keep the real estate office going there. I think that's important. Bringing in people, having that north to south exposure, where we're physically doing both sides of the border. We're not promoting it and never actually knowing about it. We're putting people into good properties where they can profit. Enjoy the properties and sell them for a profit later. That's the whole point. And then given obviously our clients from Toronto, the advantage to dealing with an office that's dealing with both sides. And it's not a big conglomerate. This is boutique.
Sure.
So when you call
Very
to
personal.
Toronto, you speak to Mike. You call in Florida, you know, or whatever. Even Mike answers the Florida calls, and I vice versa. Toronto, Florida, whatever
That's
it
right.
is, it's all boutique. It's
But
all
if they
all
call
in-house.
Florida, they'll reach you if they need to.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's one more thing that we have to address. You have a building company
yes,
in Florida. What's the name of it?
it's Treviso Homes
Okay.
LLC. Yeah.
So if somebody needed to talk again, they can always touch on base with you.
But we still didn't finish this.
What?
You're trying to kill.
No. Well, what do you got to kill?
You're
Go,
gonna
keep
say
going.
where can they find you? They're gonna
No,
find you.
I didn't.
Here?
I
He
wasn't
was
gonna
going.
say that.
Wasn't
I
he
wasn't.
going
That's
there?
not what I
God
said,
damn it.
Mike. I wasn't saying that. Okay, go. Keep going.
So no, so 10 years. The whole goal is hold on to this. Have the real estate office with the property management company. Have the employees. Build like a small team, 5 to 10 people. Very strong, very neat, like people that are.
You say that a lot. Very
Yes,
neat.
yes, but very clean.
Yeah.
You know, you got 10 people. If they all, let's say in the U.S., if their salary or wherever they are making like 150,000 a year, they're happy. You have that. It's very clean. The property management managed very well, very streamlined, no bullshit. We have internal staff with that would be great. And then ultimately the focus on the development. And then Mike, at that point, I think it's for the land. We gotta have Mike there for the land. What do you call it? Purchasing. What do you call it? Acquisitions of land.
Yeah, get close to the mic.
Because Mike's got a good eye. He can study things and ultimately push shit together very fast. He processes quickly. So that's the future, because then after, if you're building at a high level, it's the land acquisition is going to be your largest problem. So again, we're building levels. Again, we're like Super Mario Brothers. We're jumping one box to the other, right?
And those acquisitions are for investment.
And so how many buildings do we have? How many homes are you building this year?
Oh, just one, buddy. Yeah.
No, really? But what was the goal? I think the goal was
One.
10 eventually.
60 is the goal eventually, but 10 is what, 4 years?
5, yeah.
5 years,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's 1, 3, 5, and then maybe 4. I don't know. Whatever.
Nothing
Yeah.
here, right? All Florida?
It doesn't make sense, I don't think, anymore.
Like, is it too expensive here? Is that
Yeah.
the problem?
So that lot that I showed you today,
Yeah.
when I bought it, and then by the time I actually got to the point where it's like, okay, let's start thinking about building. When I bought it, I thought I could have built for one price basically, and everything shot up through the roof. There's not enough
There was
profit.
no
There's not
point.
enough profit. Put it that way. There's profit. There's not enough
You would have went through all that headache
for a year and a half. Yeah.
yeah, for nothing, really. Well, not nothing, but
But
a lot less.
yeah, we can do a lot more return on our time other ways.
One more thing we got to talk about before we say, yeah, I know you're waiting for, okay, guys, where can they find you? But let's talk about Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that don't really realize is every year you have like a retreat. I guess it's kind of called a retreat.
Yeah, for sure. It's a power. It's a power. What do they call it?
Mindset, like
it's a famous
Mastermind.
Mastermind.
yeah. So it's you, Mike, and
So I've been doing this with Hussein Kabani, buddy of mine, Remax agent from the East End and Pickering, good buddy of mine. We met here actually on this table. He was sitting here, signed a contract, Mike Scardilla, to sign up as an agent. He had another realtor with him. He was driving a 5 Series BMW, which I told him never to buy because they're going to break down. Then they ended up breaking down. And I sat there, and then Mike introduced us because he was big farmer, big promotion guy, and I was the pick and shovel guy, like cold calling, door knocking. So we sort of complemented each other. And every year we had the same production. It was wild. Like, doesn't matter. We're on the opposite ends. We wouldn't talk for 3-4 months, and we'd communicate. We have to be at the same level. So we kind of grew together. Last year he did over $1 million too. Like, very successful, a good guy. Like he's a sweetheart. He's got married now, amazing woman. And
based out of Pickering.
Yeah, you met Hussein.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's his home base.
Yeah, good friend of mine. That's like a brother for life. So so we were doing this because what would happen is we would burn out, and I'm like, dude, we got to do something. We got to get away.
Sure.
We need like 2-3 days, and we got to just hammer, just focus. And we did it. I think it was probably 2017. We did the first one, and it was good. We just sat up there for 2-3 days, a lot of wine, a lot of coffee, just sitting there, and we had like whiteboards sitting up. Like all these, like whatever you did, those, not the whiteboards, those
The paper.
yeah. Bang, bang, bang,
And
bang.
you were breaking down past, present, future, right? Kind of like what you've done, what you will
Yes.
do, and what you wanted to accomplish.
So what would we do the first day? We would say, okay, this is what we did. These were my numbers. This is what we made, the commissions and blah, 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 blah. This is how we got this. Then we categorize it. We fine tune it. Like, where do we get all these leads from? This was past clients. This was prospecting. This was open house. We'd break it all down. And then we'd find areas of weaknesses, and we try to focus our attention there. So this is weak. So we got to put a little bit more attention there. But then we do a checkup from the neck up with the market. like there was a lot of transitional years. 2017 and was on like 16 I'd hit chair, 17 I hit chair also, but I hit chair like in I don't know, like early, like April. I think it was like 400 or 500K by April, something crazy.
Wow.
But or maybe no, sorry, I don't even know what happened. I think that year because the market collapsed. I think it was. I had a tough year.
Spring of 17.
Tough year. Half my body goes numb. I thought I had a stroke, bell palsy. It was a disaster.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, but it was stress.
What year was this?
2017. It was a mismanagement. This is why I'm on a health kick now. Like life's too short. Like again.
But what happened? What was the trigger? What was the switch in 2017 that caused your body to shut down?
I think it was a lot of we had like again I take things a little bit too clients' houses these are their thing, this is everything they own. I don't take it lightly. They're trusting me. As corny as that sound, if it sounds like a sales pitch, but it is. So if I'm giving you information and now let's say the market changes or whatever it is, you feel bad clearly. But good thing is we had, I think at the time in 2017 April, this is before a week before 10 days before Kathleen Wynne announced, I forgot what it was. I even forgot what that. Anyone is political. The liberals, forget about it. Like to fucking crash that market.
We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, but keep that in. People need to know these things so we can figure this out in the future.
So you went to Blue Mountain.
So, but it's the truth. God damn it. So what? Listen. So going into that, we had eight listings on the market all across the GTA. I started to see. We're all set up for bidding wars. That time you set up for a bidding war, head up for a bidding war, this whole thing. And then that's all this pressure. So I had my house for sale too. I bought a house, 145 at the time. I had to sell my house. Still didn't, we're like, a month apart, and we wanted to get a little bit into March to get it sold. I start seeing the amount of showings starting to like chisel and interest. It was buyer's exhaustion. This is the first time I use that term. I go, it's fucking buyer's exhaustion. These guys are tired. They're not coming to the table. I have 8 listings.
Sure,
pressure.
You go put 10 offers and you just say, screw it. I'm not doing it.
And they weren't coming. Everyone was, but it was funny because it's not like everyone was coordinated and went to a seminar and they all came out with the same like thought. Yeah. Everyone had the same, like I study people, I study things, right? So they were all fatigued. And I told my wife, I go, I'm pulling this thing. Adamo, actually, in our office here, he brought our buyers in there. He came early. He was going to give me like a, what do you call it there? A preemptive offer and the whole thing. I'm like, I'm going to chill, buddy. I'm going to do the open house. Open house, like 40, 50 people came through and no one was. I was at this office here calling. You interested? You're interested? No. Nice house, small. Everybody. If this was a month prior, we'd had those who had 20 offers.
Sounds like no.
So exactly. So what I did is I call all my clients. Hey man, I'm doing this because this is what's happening. You gotta do what you gotta do, but you gotta we're gonna pull it now. We're gonna get 3 offers together. Whoever's ready to come to the table right now ahead of the actual, let's say, listing day, whatever that is, the offer date. And away we go. 7 out of the 8 listened. I was one of the 8 rather. So 1 didn't listen, waiting to paint. Waiting for the market to change, like the colors to come out in the flowers. We got slaughtered. Andrew Presta did that deal here in Sonoma Heights. Slaughtered from a house that would have sold for $840, and she bought it at just peak and just. I don't think the value. I think it came back in 22. Imagine how bad that is. Think about it. So, and then from a property for $850, we could have sold $860. We ended up selling like $620, but like drama. Wow. I think that put a lot of stress to me because these people, to me. That I still have a really good relationship with them now. Sweetheart people, like these are the last people you want to get hurt from anything. And it's not for my doing it. I kind of, and you can, and I'm very aggressive too with my thoughts. I'm like, you got to do it like this. Like if I'm doing it, you got to figure it out. I'm confident in this, in what's currently what's happening. Of course. But anyways, stuff like that screws with your mental mindset. You puts a lot of stress. Sure. And I remember it's like that year there, I'm like, so now the market's fucked. I thought it was, we always expected a big market crash. I'm like, this is it.
2018?
John, 17. I'm like, 17. We're going to be in this flat, 1988, 1989 style. And I told my wife, I go, you know what's more scary? I'm reliant just on commission checks. Mm-hmm. If we can't sell another property, how do we support this new $1.5 million house that we just bought?
Yeah, it's going to be scary.
So that year there, I was like, okay, so we claim to be entrepreneurial, that we're business people. We're an entrepreneur. It's on my Instagram. So I told my wife, I go, let's go to Montreal. Let's see if we can turn in another market. So I had because of Mike Ferry, we had all these agents all across Canada and the US. So I went down there. We started looking at property and I was going to do it. I was like, okay, we can buy there for like those nice bungalows you were living in, like that, larger with double car garage.
The wartime house.
Pretty much 70s, 60s, 70s. $350 at the time, $340. you can renovate them, make like a $30,000-$40,000 profit. Because that's Montreal was always like that.
Slow market.
But I told my wife, even if you can flip 3 or 4 a year, it's 100 G's. You know what I mean? Just whatever. We'll put some money out there because we had some money saved and everything, and go. So that was the start of that. And yeah, that year there, I told you, like half my body goes. I must have nerve damage in my left leg. This is why I'm always running. I'm trying to like beat.
Did you take a vacation that year, just to detach from life?
Yeah, we try, right? Of course, we go do stuff, but it's like.
But you came back still the same way?
Well, I mean, we went away probably in Feb, let's say. No, I don't think I took a vacation that year because it was just too fast. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'd have to check. I could.
That's how bad the year was that you just don't remember.
It was busy.
So
you do like 11 deals in a month. It was like.
And so then a year after that, you started the Blue Mountain
7
thing.
deals in a week. It was like.
Did you start the Blue Mountain thing after that?
Yeah, 17. So I call Hussein. I'm like, dude, we got to go away. He's like, I'm in. So then we went there, and Hussein likes me because I'm very organized. If you can see, like I save everything. I'm the biggest nerd everywhere.
You're a hoarder.
But this is all important information, right? So I would organize this whole thing, and then what we do is the first day we do what we did, how we're gonna conquer the new market, where it's gonna be, and then we write our plans out. Like if you see one of my video I posted yesterday, 5 equities of life, your 10-10, your prophecy letter, your business plan. Like these are important things. So this sets your mind right. And if you see a prophecy letter, I'd like to read one to you guys one day. They're long and winded, but it's basically you writing that this already happened. So what a great year I had in 2024. We made over $2 million in both US and Canadian dollars on both sides of the border. We sold over 100 houses on both sides of the border. We built our first house successfully, got it on the market, made $150,000 to $200,000 in property. With the money that we earned from this property that we just sold, gave us enough money to buy the extra 2 lots just adjacent to it. Now we're setting for permits for next year. Wow, what a great year. What a great year I had with my family. My daughter succeeded in dance, won title. Nicholas became like a better golfer. His reading, his math has come up to par. I'm so proud of them as a father. My life with my wife has never been better. We're romantic partners. Like, guys, sex is very important in a marriage. If you're not having sex, you're pretty much fucked, right?
Of course.
So
but all this hasn't happened.
But you're writing it.
You're writing it.
You're writing
kind
it.
of like, this is what I want to be saying to
this
myself.
is what's gonna happen. And then what you do, if I show you the prophecy letter in one of these folders, I showed you the point. 89%, because I made it like, so it's written as a story, but then you got to pick where the goal is. $1 million. This many homes sold. That's 2 goals. Vacation with the family, another goal. So you got to have to like break it down later, and then you say, okay, I went to Disney. My relationship with my wife's great. I bought her a diamond necklace.
And you're crossing this out as you're saying it? As
After
doing
the
it.
year is done. Because then we'll do that in Blue Mountain when you go back. This year we started early. We did it in August. Usually we do it in December. The only thing we found in December is too short, because Coach Sean told us like start in August so you can plan for Jan. Because we would plan December, but then it's Jan, you couldn't implement.
So then, are you bringing your 2023 prophecy letter and then checking
everything? I usually bring like a folder of all the past shit, and I'll pull them out. All the past plans, rather. No, not shit.
Not shit. No.
Yeah, and we'll go through them. Yeah.
And Mike, you did the same, right?
So this was the first year I wrote mine. So now we have to look back in August and see what percentage I got on it.
Read it though. If you read it even now, a little bit now, we should again.
But is he allowed to?
Of course.
No, you're supposed to read it every
You're supposed to every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Supposed to. I don't.
To refresh your mind about the goals that you want.
I don't anymore. Used to, and again, guilty. But it's like also you got to set some emotion behind the goals. Like make it real.
Make it real.
You're proud.
Try to attain it for real.
You're proud. You're like it's just all this stuff, like this real emotion behind it. Because you can say I want to make $1 million. What does that mean? I want to make $1 million so I can give my kids a better life.
Now you're putting a premise to the money.
This is NLP. This is Linda did a lot of this for this. She's got to put some fire behind that because you're going to be writing shit down, never put it together.
Because it's easy to say, I wish I had $10 million. But like, how?
And what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, what are you going to do with it? Yeah, you're just going to sit in the bank?
That's why I always ask people, if you won the lottery, what would you buy? And then it's like the first, I would give money to charity. I'm like, screw all that. Forget about all that. You're going to do it. I get it. I'm going to help family. I know. Don't pretend to say that so God gives you the lottery. Like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to pull a fast one. Yeah. What are you gonna do for yourself? Like, what car are you gonna buy? What house? What vacation? What boat? Like, give it to me.
But you're talking about materialistic stuff. But what about? Would you also say that people should try to attain inner peace? Try to kind of ground yourself. Well, that's a very hard thing to acquire, though.
But that's done not with money. That's done.
Well,
that's
yeah.
done with process of time and how you process your time.
Money can solve a lot of these problems, brother.
Yes and no, because look, everyone that's wealthy, they jeopardize their health till they're wealthy, and then they spend all their money to get healthy again. It's dumb.
But you have to distinguish between wealth. Are you talking about wealth
let's
as
say
in
cash.
generational
Let's say
wealth?
cash. No, but a millionaire. You're doing well. Like you got
okay.
houses paid. You got
All right.
cash in the bank. You got cars. You got everything you
Okay.
want. It's
So
never have to worry
now what?
about money.
So now what?
Why I'm
are
saying
those
a lot
people upset?
of people jeopardize their health to get there, and then ultimately when they get to the point of wealth, their health is terrible, and they got to spend all their money to get healthy again.
Technically, that's what happened to you, though. Because 2017, you killed yourself.
Look at me now, baby.
But you're also talking about
8% body fat,
almost
baby.
6 years ago, baby. 8%, easy.
But
Rambo over
he
here.
learned early, right? He didn't.
Yeah,
wait
of
until
course.
It was,
Yeah, definitely.
It was too late to come back.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't, and then so every year I look now. So I started the carnivore diet. Every year I'm doing something different, and I don't do it to try it. I've been fasting for 4 years. People say, "Oh, I did it for 4 months." No, it's been 4 years. It's not a new lifestyle. Carnivore is the thing I'm gonna do. Do I sometimes cheat and eat pizza? Yeah, of course. And that's where I feel good is where I'm gonna stay.
We're going to talk about that in the next episode. I actually wrote a prophecy letter myself this year.
Did you?
Guess what I wrote?
To be friends with Steve Zelenardo?
Wrong. To ask Steve where they can find them. When the podcast
He snuck it in there. That slimy
Mike,
dog.
That was good.
That was
He
sneaky.
did
right?
it as a slimy dog.
Listen, I haven't.
There's
done a
nothing
prophecy letter I
more.
want to.
There's nothing more that I despise when you say, "How can they find it?"
So listen, when
Find
I
me
created
and
my
we'll talk.
vision board, I
Tell me.
created. You know when I created mine in the worst time? I created in 2008.
Okay,
That's when I actually bought my first house in Brampton.
okay, it's not bad.
It's bad because the market itself was collapsing everywhere. So all of a sudden, the vision board became impossible.
Only 6 months. 2008 or 18.
Right, 2008. 8.
6
It
months.
was bad year, man.
At least you had money to buy a house.
100%.
I lived in my parents'
So
basement.
I didn't really. But my dad actually gave me the kick, and he said, "No, go. I'll support you if you can't make
that's
it."
a good father.
But I didn't need his help, thank God. But he was there supporting me.
But he gave you
I
that
bought-
cushion. If
I bought for $265.
Yeah.
Now it's a mil.
Nice.
So it was a good return. Just to say.
So I think we should sell it, cash out. Let's get you going. Let's get that cash in your hand.
For what?
What do you mean? We got to get you in another destination.
Yeah, let's go.
Cross border. Set
As
up.
long as you fulfill my prophecy of telling
Tell you.
everyone where they can find you. Mike, at your camera.
you can find us
You can find-
on Instagram, Spotify, where else?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube.
Always YouTube.
All right.
At Real Estate on Record. And Steve, where can they find you?
Yeah, same places and clearly.
At Steve Zelenardo.
Yeah, and Treviso Realty. Come on, don't leave that puppy
Treviso
out.
Realty. At Treviso
You
Realty.
want to get inspired. You want to
Yes.
see a lifestyle that
It
can
is.
be attainable by anybody with a limited amount of money.
No,
Check out
no
Treviso Realty.
bullshit either. Because
bullshit.
Treviso is exactly the way you are all the time.
Bello.
Right?
See.
You're really not fluffing it out.
No.
So we will talk about this in another episode, but I will say there's some people that they'll fluff. And unfortunately, Instagram's like that.
Yeah, but that's Instagram.
But that's not you.
Yeah. No. I have no.
So we
No
will
ambition to
see
be
them
fake.
next time.
Nice.
Take it
Let's
easy.
do it.